Hi, I'm Evan Ince. Today we're at the Audley Recreational Center. Today I'm going to teach you a few things about skateboarding. Today we're learning about skate park etiquette, the do's and don'ts of the skate park so you can be safe and have fun. So some of the don'ts of skate park etiquette would be don't litter on the skate park, don't spit on the skate park, don't vandalize the skate park, and pretty much just try to keep it a safe and respectful environment for everyone else. When you're at the skate park, always be aware of your surroundings and make sure you're not getting in other people's way. Here are some examples of some things you don't want to do. Don't be that guy.
Beautiful day to catch some rays.
Don't drop in on the bowl when someone else is already skating. One of the main foundations of skateboarding is pushing. Before we get started on pushing, we have to find out if you're regular or goofy first. How do you figure out if you skateboard regular or goofy? For goofy stance, it's where you push right foot forward. Regular stance is where you push with your left foot forward. For example, to find out the way you push, whatever foot you go to kick a soccer ball with would be the foot you push with, and the one that stays on the ground is the one that stays on the board. Now that we've learned if we're regular or goofy, now it's time to get pushing. So now with your front foot on the board, you put your back foot, which is your pushing foot, on the board also, with your knees bent just to get your balance. Take it back off. Now that we're comfortable with standing on the board, we can start pushing. What you want to do is take your front foot and plant it forward on the skateboard, and take your back foot and start giving small pushes. When you're pushing and you start to slow down, you might want to use the tic-tac method. In order to tic-tac, you lean more pressure back onto your tail and lift up on your front trucks and start turning left to right. Now that you can push, you're going to want to learn how to turn. So if you want to turn left, put your weight on your toe side and let your trucks turn. And if you want to turn right, do the same thing onto your heel side. Now it's time to learn how to ollie. Before we learn how to ollie, we got to get comfortable with these 3 steps. One of the first steps is being comfortable balancing on your tail. So the second step would be sliding your foot up across the grip tape to the nose. You want to get used to doing this. In the final steps of learning how to ollie, we're going to combine steps 1 and 2. You want to combine step 1 with step 2 and jump into the air to create a level motion. Now, this is what the ollie should look like. So the other types of ollies are nollie, fakie, and switch. Now it's time to learn 180s. To do a 180, you start off by turning your shoulders while popping an ollie. Depending on which direction you turn your shoulders, that'll determine if it's a front side or back side 180. This is the front side 180. This is the back side 180. Now we're going to start to learn some tricks, starting with the shove-its. A shove-it is when your board does a 180 and your body stays the same. Just like the ollie, there's a lot of different variations of the shove-it.
Hi, I'm Aaron Young. Not only do I tan at the skate park, but I can also teach you a few things about transition. Now that you practice getting your balance done on your board, now we can take it over to the quarter pipe and you can learn how to drop in. So the ways to start into getting into a drop-in is you're going to take the tail of your skateboard, put it on the coping of the quarter pipe. For personal preference for me, I like to keep my front foot just under the 2 bottom bolts, and you're going to keep your weight centered, your shoulders even, and drop in, but make sure not to lean back too far. So once you're more comfortable dropping in on something smaller like the quarter pipe, you can change it up and drop in on the big bolt. Today we just focused on dropping in the bowl, so stay tuned for future videos so we can learn more tricks in skating transition.
I'm Justin Behan, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys the kick flips and all the heel flips today. So for the kick flip, it's kind of like the ollie. You want to have the same sort of pop going on. I like to put my toes kind of in this pocket right here, just right there on the tail. And then my front foot, I like to have it just behind the bolts here, maybe even touching just a little bit, but a bit on an angle. Some people like to do it a bit like that. I prefer a bit on an angle. So it's the same concept as the ollie. You're going to want to pop and flick up towards the corner of the board this time. Instead of straight up, towards like an ollie, you want to hit the corner, which is going to cause the board to hit this kind of motion. That's how it's going to be a kick flip. Alright, so I'll show you how to kick flip right now, and yeah, I'll show you how it's done. So just like the shove, it's the 180s and the ollies. There's 4 stances for the kick flip, obviously. You got regular, nollie, fakie when you're going backwards, and switch when you're going opposite if you're going away. Alright, so for the heel flips, we're going to teach you those now today. This one's a little different. I think I do them kind of weird, but I like to hang my toes off the board right here, and I like to put my back foot more toes in the kick flip. The more the kick flip I was like that, for the heel flip I want it to be just a little bit more behind. So when you stand up here like this, you want to kick the board, pop up, kick out this way this time. It's going to make the board do that motion. Heel flips. Alright, so now that you've learned the kick flips and the heel flips, you can start adding them to your 180s or your shoves, whatever you want to do. Alright, so of course you got your grind tricks. The one I'm going to teach you today is the most basic one. It's the 50-50. That's what the trick's called. This one is just when once you have a good ollie, and you can just shift your weight right onto the ledge here. I'll show you. You're going to want to ride at the ledge, do a nice ollie, but you're going to want to shift your board so it hits both trucks onto the thing. And once it's on the coping there, you just want to jump out of it or ride out to the end. So I guess I'll teach you manuals now. My preference is that I like to kind of keep my knees a little bent. I keep my back foot not so much on the tail here, but right in there. I keep my front foot not too high up, not too low either, just right in the middle on those back bolts. And then you want to keep your arms out kind of. Those will help you really get your balance up. And then you just hold it with your knees and your arms to keep going. Just hold it as long as you can. So once you have those pretty much down, you can start throwing some flip tricks into the manuals or out of the manuals.